Hi everyone, it's Dee from Turtle Dove. Today I would like to show you a project that I'm in the middle of. It is decoupaging a Christmas table centrepiece. This will actually go on my sideboard next to the dining table. So I am decoupaging a glass hurricane lamp, which I've finished here, and also a ceramic plate, which I'm about to show you in a moment. But I wanted to sort of finish half the project off just so that I could show you, and I also want to show you the process, because sometimes if I'm watching a channel and something that I really want to make myself, it's always nice to know the process of how they went about making something. So it's very time consuming, which is why I wanted to make half the project for you first. So this is the hurricane lamp, and I'm going to pop a little LED tea light in it. You could put a candle in there too, just a little one, but you won't be able to see it lit up because it's daylight. But it does shine through the painted glass, just a very soft ambient light. So just turn that off. So as you can see, I've just used some paper napkins. I love decoupaging with napkins. You can get beautiful designs. And I've used some gold leaf underneath and around the design. And on my last coat of this decoupage glue, I've just added a bit of fine glitter mixed with some coarse glitter. So I don't know if the camera will pick up the glitter. You can see a bit on the bird, and you can see there a bit, I think. So that gave it a good Christmassy feel. At the top, the rim of the lamp, I've used a chain of this gold and crystal rhinestone, sort of squares, and they're flat at the back. So I stuck those on with some E6000, which is quite a very strong type of glue. Then I've made my own ribbons with the wire edge and finished it off in the centre of the ribbon. I have some embellishments, just an assortment of embellishments that I take out from older jewellery, or I buy some cheap jewellery and use the embellishments off of that. So they are lovely steel embellishments, gold flower with a crystal centrepiece. So I think that turned out really nice. So I'm going to leave that there, and show you the process of decoupaging, what I do. So just pick any type of napkin that you come across. This is beautiful bobbins and cardinals, and this one's 3-ply. So you just look at the design and pick where you want to place things. So, actually just before we do that, I'll show you the front, because I've already done the top. I did that last night. I have the 2 robins, and I've just used the flowers for around the rest of the plate, and that's going to sit nicely like so. So let's show you how I decoupage. So as I said, you just choose the design, and then got 3 pliers here. I think it was 3 pliers. So you just very carefully, you have to peel away all the pliers. You just want the top. And sometimes it can be hard to part, but you just be very careful when you part them. You can pop this away for something else or use it to wipe up in the future, or use it for stuffing, for packaging. So yes, this has 3 pliers. I think it's a matter of parting them. This one's hard because if you look carefully, there's this sort of etched design in there which sort of clamps them together. There we go. Now, I'm sure you'll be able to find some napkins without that on the edge, but that doesn't matter to me. That flattens out on the design. There we go. Fold this up, and once you've taken the pliers off, you're left with this, and it's a matter of just carefully tearing around whatever parts of the design that you like. So, to save time, I've already carefully torn out my design. Oh, and before that, I put 2 coats of acrylic paint over this. This is white anyway, this ceramic plate, but this was glass, so I wanted them to match. So yeah, I put 2 coats of the acrylic paint on first, let it dry, and then you can start your decoupaging. So I'm thinking of laying my design out like so. Now you want to get rid of any flat edges, or straight edges I should say. So I'm just carefully, that just tends to glue down a lot better if you do that. So this one, I'll just cut out the design like in a square like that, and then I'll just have to tear around the edge. So I'm going to use the 2 robins, top and bottom, and then the cardinal in the centre with the flowers either side. So I've already done one. And I'll just sit under and above the cardinal, and as you can see, the straight edge, I'm just going to tear that very carefully down. Like that. Around all the sides. Careful not to tear his tail off. Working with smaller pieces like this is a lot easier than just draping the whole piece over. Plus I want to put the gold leaf on, and I'd like to leave some white showing. I think it just makes the whole design pop much better. So this is how I'd like to place it. There's a hair from the brush here, but I'm not going to worry because that's going to be covered. And I think I only did one coat underneath because you're not going to see that. But I put 2 coats of the acrylic paint on the top before I decoupaged. So this is what it's going to be like. So let's start. I had all these pre-cut, so I can keep them for another time. And you can decoupage as much or as little as you want. I could always come back and put some smaller pieces down, but I'm not going to for underneath. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these napkins aside. So I just bought this from Cheapest Chips. It's a glossy decoupage glue and a sealer. It's just a white milky glue which will dry clear. So I'm just going to pop those aside and start off with the middle. So I'm just going to cover the whole inner base with the glue. Just make sure that I coat everywhere. I've just put some wax paper underneath, and then the plate's also sitting on some paint brushes just to keep it off of the surface. This is a really old brush and it's just starting to lose hairs here and there, which can be a bit annoying. Okay, so I've put a coat of glue down, and now I'm just going to carefully place the cardinal down where I want. Now I'm going to wrap some Glad wrap or cellophane or cling wrap, sorry, I think we call it, over my finger. I got this tip from another channel, and you know what, I can't think of who it was. But you just carefully dab. You can use your fingers. Now you will get some creasing. But I find that it doesn't stick so much using the Glad wrap. And then working fairly quickly because it's very, very delicate at this point. Just carefully put another coat of the glue on. So you continue doing that with your design. So now I'm going to coat all the way around the outer edge of the plate. Making sure I don't miss any, because you want the design to sit flush. And you don't want to miss anything. Just a little bit more. Making sure I've got in that little lip there. So we'll start on this side. Just going to lay that, let that sort of fall where it wants to, and just carefully pat that down in place. As I said, you will get some folds, but it's the same thing with anything that you do. The more you do, the better you get at it. So I should have done the underneath first. It'll give me some practice. Okay, so I don't want to play around with that too much. Now I'm just going to, before it gets too moist, just going to that another coat. You could wait for that to dry and then coat it again, but doing this actually pushes down the design and may get rid of more of the little wrinkles. Doing this while it's wet, as long as you don't overwork it, you should be fine, and just very lightly press on it. Now if I went back and tried to coat that again, that would just rip to bits, so you've got to do it fairly quickly. There we go, just like that. It's quite easy. Just place this one down over here, and it doesn't matter if it overlaps right on the edge, just make, as long as you have some glue there, that's fine. And just slowly work that down, very gently tapping it. Okay, it's a bit there. And get the cling wrap, just dab it more, very gently. That's it, don't want to overdo it. And then finish that off with a bit of glue. Just a bit down the bottom here. And once that's dry, it's going to have one more coat. With the glitter through it, but before we do that, we're going to put some gold foil on that, so I'm going to have to come back another day and film that once this is dry. So where do we want this? just there. Little robins, they're so cute, aren't they? I love robins. Okay. So this is pretty easy. It's just a little time consuming because you've got to wait for each coat of the paint and then the glue to dry. So, you know, give yourself a good week or so to make this. It doesn't take much time to actually do the decoupaging. It's just all the drying time. Okay, so this one is going to, oops, sit right there. And that fits perfectly. Not that you're going to see anything underneath. I mean, you don't have to do it at all underneath if you don't want, but I'm going to. And I wanted to show you how to do the process of the decoupaging. So there we go. That one went on nicely. So as I said, next I'm going to do, once this dries, I'm going to come back and show you how I put the gold foiling on. Then we'll have to let that dry. Let's put a coat over the robin. And we're just going to let that sit. So I will be back tomorrow afternoon and show you the gold foiling and putting the last coat of the decoupage glue with the glitter. I'm going to let that sit there and dry overnight. Okay, we'll see you soon. Welcome back. It's been almost 24 hours and this has dried completely. So now I'm going to pop on the gold foiling, and I might, what should I do, the back, the underside or the front? I think we'll do the underside, only because this, even though it's dry, it still wouldn't be completely cured, and I don't want to quite sit it the other way around while the top's drying. So I may as well just completely finish the back. So we'll start with the gold foiling, like I've done around the edge of the design and at the bottom. So I just have this little paint palette which I'm going to use, and I'm going to get my tweezers and just take out some of this gold metallic flakes. And just put it in the middle there. Just drop some into one of those compartments. These are very, very light, and they want to stick to everything, including my fingers. So I'm just going to sort of break some of that away, because there's some pieces that are just layered. This wants to stick to everything. It's very, very fine. Excuse all the noise outside. There's construction going on. There's model aeroplanes flying. Of course, preparing for this video, it was very, very quiet, and as soon as I press record, all the action starts. So there we go, that's very fine gold flakes. So I have my decoupage, glossy decoupage glue. And I'll get a brush. I don't know if I'll need a big one. I think I'll just use this. It's pretty old, and there's a bit of glue there that I didn't take off from last time. Got to be careful keeping your brushes nice and clean so they last. Okay, so now I think first I'm going to start placing the foil down just around each of the designs, and then we'll see from there what we'll do. So I think I'll start concentrating around the center design. So it's just a matter of placing some glue. It's not going to work. I think I'll use the round brush. It's a bit more precise. I'm just going to place some glue around the outside of the design, up close to the bird. I won't go all the way around because the glue does dry quickly. And it's just a matter of grabbing the gold bits and placing them down. Now this is what I'm talking about, trying to get rid of all those layers, because if you don't, it's not going to want to glue down very nicely. Oh, that's too thick, that's not working. So I'll just pop that aside. I have some of my cling wrap. And this takes some time, so when you get to this bit, don't be in too much of a rush. And I think some of these pieces are still a a little bit too big. So maybe the best thing to do would be to spend some time breaking them up a little bit first. I mean, a lot of them the pieces tend to break up as you're working with them anyway, so it's just a matter of what you want to do, I guess. Okay, so I like to get the long, narrow pieces. And actually, by memory, I think I've used the little wax pencil I've got. I think that helps. Yes, that's what I did. That's much better. This wax pencil's great. I use it all the time. Beads and diamantes and rhinestones and foil. There we go. See how I'm just going to follow that along the outside of the design? So I'll be doing that around all of these designs here. So I'll just continue with that for a couple of minutes. Very therapeutic crafting, I think. So just as I move around, I just gently tap with my finger, or you can get the cling wrap and gently make sure everything's pushed down flush with the plate. So that glue's already drying too much. So then you just grab some more paint, or not paint, glue. Wrong end. And just slowly fill that in where you like. So you can see that. So I will continue with this, and I'll be back when I've finished the gold foil all around the designs. Okay, so over the last, I would say, hour, I've completed all the gold foiling. So I've mainly concentrated, as I said, around the edge of each of the diagrams here, the birds and the flowers, and then I've just popped the odd gold foil in between, just there. So there's still plenty of white showing, and still have the top to do, but I'll do that probably in another couple of days. So now after I've placed the gold foil down, I used my cling wrap and just patted it very carefully down, just making sure there's not any corners sticking up. You want it all flush. So now, last thing I do before I let it all dry is I'm going to mix up some of this decoupage glue. I'm just going to pop some in one of these, maybe a little bit more, and we're just going to give this one last coat. Using the big brush, but first I'm going to mix in a little bit of the glitter. So I'm going to have a combination of the coarse glitter, and this one's Rainbow Lights, which is iridescent, sort of white iridescent, and in the Rainbow Lights again with the fine glitter of the same. So I'm just going to grab my spoon and pop it in using this little spoon, just a spoon or maybe 3/4 of a spoon of fine. And just a whole spoon of the coarse. Get an old brush and just mix that through. And I think that should be enough. I don't want to put too much in there, but I want enough that you can see it once it's dry. Okay, so I think that's mixed through enough. So now we're just going to grab a bigger round brush. Pick your design up and put plenty on, starting in the middle. Now don't worry, it's going to look very creamy, but that is just going to dry clear, and it'll have a nice shine to it as well. Just making sure you cover everything, because this will be the last coat. See? But that will dry just like this bit here. I might have to mix even more, I'm not sure. May not have mixed enough. So I'm going to let this dry, just sit for a good couple of days. It's Monday afternoon here at the moment, so I probably won't touch this again till Wednesday evening, or even maybe Thursday. I'll just see how it goes. So I'm putting quite a thick coat on here with the glitter, and I don't think I'm going to have enough, so I'm going to have to mix a bit more. Just bringing that right to the edge. Might make it, but we'll see. I don't want to skimp on the glue anywhere because I don't want anything lifting. I just want everything to be nicely sealed. I'm just brushing off any loose hairs on a bit of tissue paper. No, I'm going to have enough. Just a little bit more here and we're done. Okay, so what I'll do is in a couple of days I'll come back and I'll do the top, and when that's dry, it'll probably be another 5 days time, I'll come back and I'll show you the finished product. So that's going to sit there for a couple of days. Okay, see you soon. So I'm back a couple of days later. I didn't wait as long as I thought between drying times. I've done the front, put all the pretty gold on the front, and then finished it off with the last coat of the Decoupage glue and sealer. And this is the back that I was working on last, you saw. Now, I did a little experiment. The back in the decoupage glue, when I added the glitter, as you saw, I added around about a spoon of each glitter in this one, and you can see just how glittery that is, and that looks pretty. Don't know if the camera will show it up so much. There we go. And on this side I used about a bit over a quarter of a spoon of each of the glitter, the coarse and the fine, and I actually like that look better. It's just a personal thing, but you can see where I've placed the gold. And the back has more white showing, so it's just a matter of taste and what you want to do. I could have put more gold around here, but I decided not to. So this still has some drying time, even though I can handle it. I wouldn't want to place the little hurricane lamp or vase, whatever you call it, on here for any length of period of time, you know, more than a couple of minutes, just for a few more weeks, just to make sure it cures properly. So now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've put some bows either side of the vase, and I've decided to do the same on the plate. So I'm going to pop one next to the robin here, and then one on the opposite side, the robin on this side, this is the top bit. So I'm just going to make the ribbon for you. And then we're going to pop a embellishment in the middle of the bow. I'm going to have to make a video on how I make ribbons and bows. Sorry, I should say bows. I think there's 3 types that I make. Okay, so I'll just get my ribbon here, and this has wire on either side. So I'm going to try and make it as wide as this first bow that I've made. So basically grab a length of the ribbon and just sort of roughly measure the length. So I've just put my thumbnail there, and all I'm going to do is bend it down once and bend it down again. Take it around and bend it over one more time. And then I'm getting my old scissor. I only use this for doing the rough cutting, so it doesn't matter if it gets ruined. They're only cheap scissors. Okay, so you just place it down, grab some wire. This is just a fine, I don't know what size it is, very fine wire. Just measure out a small length. It's about 6 inches, but it doesn't matter. You're just going to wind that down and tie it to the middle of the ribbon. Okay, so just find the middle of the ribbon and scrunch it down. Get your wire and just secure that in place. And then spin it over, and I just twist it in place. So that it doesn't undo, about 3 or 4 times. And then just pull the 2 ends upwards and cut it off. Simple as that. And then I get the flat part of the tool just under here and just push that down so that you don't prick yourself with the wire. That could have been a little bit tighter, but I think that should still be okay. Just going to push that down on the other side. There we go. That'll make it a little bit tighter. I don't have a lot of tools for jewellery making. This is really all that I've got. Okay, so that'll do. Okay, so from there it's just a matter of opening either side up. I normally just try and fit my finger through there. And then pulling that other piece down, and that's going to be your tail. The little tail on the bow. And that's what's good about using the wire and the ribbon, because you can sort of just adjust the shape a little bit. See how that's forming now? It's a really cool way of making some bows with the wire ribbon. There we go, there's your bow. And then you can cut the fishtail or leave it at an angle. So they are ready to stick on the plate. Okay, so I think just next to the little robin, like so. Now what I'm going to do is use a combination of the hot glue and the E6000, because I don't want this coming off at all. And of course you're not going to ever fully immerse or wet this at all, actually. Just use a very, very, very damp cloth and then just wipe any dust off of this. It's not made for washing or wetting. It's just a decorative item, so I learnt this trick, I think I've said before, from Happy Bird Glitter Nest. Using some glue together with your hot glue, just so that you don't have to wait for the drying time or the curing time. Okay, so that's the first bow. I'm just placing it where I think I'd like it, and then just sort of pushing on the middle just to flatten the underside a little bit. Put a bit of the E6000 together with the hot glue. That down, and you can always adjust the bow once it's on. I think that looks really pretty. And lastly, I have these embellishments, and I'm going to do the same thing for the middle of the bows. Put the smallest amount on one side, the E6000, and then a little dab of the hot glue, and pop that the middle of the bow. And look how pretty that looks. It's gorgeous. I think I'm going to place this on my coffee table. My dining table is a bit big, unless I'd made a pair of these. It might look a bit lost, but I could put it on my kitchen side cabinet, or on the coffee table, or even a little round table I have in the family area. I've got a little lamp table I can put it on too. So I'm going to set this up this evening and put a candle in there and do a little clip for you so you can see it sitting nicely on a piece of furniture. So, there you have it. I just love those robins, and I just like the amount of the amount of glitter that I've popped on this side compared to that side. This is nice too, but I think it takes away a little bit from the design because there's just a lot more glitter on that one. It's just a personal preference, I think, but this is just beautiful. And this one has about the same amount of glitter in the glue. So the cardinals on the lamp, and on the plate I have the two robins. And that's what it will look like. So that's going to look gorgeous lit up in the evening. And you can also pop some little flowers here if you like, or just leave it as is. So I will be back this evening to show you what all nicely set up. Good evening, my crafty friends. So this is what the Decoupage hurricane lamp and plate look like lit up. I've just quickly tried to find some of my, or a couple of my Christmas greenery. That's all I could find at the moment. The rest is in the garage, so that will be coming out as soon as I get rid of or put down all my Halloween decorations. So it looks very ambient. I have a candle, a wax candle. I did have an LED light in there, but it's not quite strong enough for the light to shine through the glass. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've got a little step ladder here because that's actually a wine bottle cabinet with no wine in there. And it's quite tall, so I'm just stepping on the ladder just so that you can see the plate better. There's the little bows with the embellishment there. So I think this is where I'll put it over the Christmas period. It's nice and high away from my granddaughters. They're only little, so I don't especially if I use candles. I don't want anything happening to them. Another thing I was thinking of maybe popping on the plate is maybe some gum nuts or little bits of greenery like this. It looks really nice as well. And you can pop some on the other side. And this is, I found this in my candle drawer. It looks like a candle, but it's plastic from IKEA. It's, I couldn't find batteries for it though, so that might look nice next to it, I think. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Of course, on camera the gold around the design actually looks black, but it's not. It does show up gold. So I'm just going to pop the main light on so that you can see with the light on as well. There we go. It even looks nice with the main light on. Just pop those away. It's raining at the moment, so it's very ambient here. So I love how the plate has the two robins at the top and bottom, around the other side and down here. And then the hurricane lamp has the cardinals, one at the front and back. And then I've put the bows either side. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this. Take care, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.